as a foreigner, we stand out. We don't look the same. We don't sound the same. So
You're taller.
People are going to pay attention to us, so we stand out more. So just be aware about we look and sound different, and therefore we will attract more attention.
Are you hesitant to travel to the Philippines? We have top 6 safety tips for foreigners traveling to the Philippines. Okay, here's our number 1 safety tips. Safety upon arrival in the airport.
So preparation is everything. Observe those before you in the queues so you understand the process. Always smile and be pleasant and courteous to all officials as they decide who enters their country. So be polite and always follow uniformed personnel's directions.
And for the immigration, you have to have your passport ready and along with your e-travel QR code. It's better if you have a printed one. That's it. But if you have that on your phone, that's all right as well. And of course, you have to have your hotel booking, especially if you're a tourist, because they will ask you where you will stay. If you don't have a friend or relative here in the Philippines, it's good to have a hotel booking. And of course, whatever questions they have, you have to answer it clearly. And what else? Return ticket is very important because if you're a tourist, then definitely you have to have a return ticket, so they know that you're leaving the country after your before your visa expire.
So typical questions at immigration are across the world. They're the same. Why are you here? And where are you staying? It's actually important to have answers to those 2 questions, because as soon as you don't have answers to the most basic questions, you start to look suspicious. So why am I here? Vacation, business meeting, seeing a friend, seeing family. Where are you staying? Staying with family, you have the hotel name, I have a hotel booking. You're able to confidently answer their questions.
Yeah.
Having printed copies of your ticket, accommodation, and a copy of your passport is really important, because if it's all on your telephone and your telephone goes flat, I can't find it, I've lost it, I don't have access to data to find the email, it's always useful. Also, having some local currency in small denominations is important for payment of essentials that I want to get, drinks, or I want to tip the drivers, I need to buy something, and credit cards are not as widely available as everywhere else.
Yeah, and also before leaving the arrival, of course you will go and get your baggage, right? So in the baggage area, sometimes there are people not in uniform. They will ask you to help. They will ask you
if you need assistance,
if you need assistance and help in picking up your baggage or pulling up your trolley. But lately, for how many maybe years now, we've never seen that. But if ever you encounter that, just go for someone who is in uniform and with ID. Okay, and then what else? Secure your passport before you leave the arrival area. Okay, for our number 2, it's a general travel and health tips.
So always register with your embassy before your trip. It may be a lifesaver during emergencies. And also don't forget about travel insurance, especially one that covers medical expenses and potential evacuations.
Yeah, travel insurance is very important because every time we travel, because we both staying in Dubai, in the Philippines, and sometimes we travel in Melbourne, so we make sure that we have travel insurance even though we are a residents here and residents in Dubai. Both countries we need to have insurance because that's really important if something happened to you.
And look at avoid random drivers or unlicensed taxis that maybe approach you outside the airport or during your travel. These are often overpriced and quite risky and maybe setting you up for a robbery or something. So always use the proper licensed services.
Yeah. And when it comes to your vaccination, during COVID, this is very important. But also we want to reiterate that vaccination is also important now, especially like flu vaccine. It's better you have a flu vaccine before you come here, because before you come in the Philippines, because there are, anywhere in the world there are some flu around, and then it's better if you have a flu vaccine, and then also something that protects you from mosquito bites, mosquito repellent, off lotion, and some jackets or anything that you think that will help you to protect you from mosquito. And also the water.
Tap water may not be as clean as perhaps you're used to, so sticking to bottled water. And also, when you're traveling, resolve in advance and if you're pre-existing medical conditions before you travel. So for example, it's going to be easier and cheaper to fix that broken tooth back in your home country where you know the dentist, you can get access to medical care, rather than as an emergency in a foreign country where the medical care is perhaps unknown or unfamiliar to you.
Yeah.
And medications, they must be in their original packaging, along with a copy of the prescription.
Yeah.
For longer trips, think about how am I going to refill my prescription if I'm on a long-term medication. And just think about, if you're the customs person and I turn up with a bunch of white pills in a Ziploc bag with no identification what they are, what are you going to think of me? So always think about, what do you present yourself to the customs? How do I look to immigration? How am I going to conduct myself?
And also do your research. If ever you will be here in the Philippines for a long time, let's say 6 months, 1 year, and then do your research if your medication is available here. If it's not available here, then you have to do something how you will, or if there's any, what you call that, replacement for that brand or for that medication, then at least you're ready. You will not be... Okay, now we are in our tip number 3. It's personal safety.
So, in crowded cities like Manila or Cebu, pickpocketing can happen. So keep an eye on your belongings and avoid showing off flashy jewelry or expensive gadgets.
Gadget on the street.
If you've got some sort of device that really means something to you, consider, should I really be traveling with it? For example, when the iPods first came out, I was really nervous about losing it because it was a sentimental item. So I was more careful about it than I say am today.
Yeah. You can still use it on the street, but you have to be very careful on when you put it, when you are using it, just holding it like that, and it can be snatched from you. So, but not all the places, but we're talking about Manila or Cebu, those crowded areas, And then when it comes to transportation, be very careful in using a local transportation, because we have online transport now, the Grab. You can book it from the official app of the taxi, and also don't involve in what's the unmarked taxi, and then they will do your contract or like a contracting
agreement
without
without a meter or and you never know where they're taking. So use the official transportation service.
And of course they will charge you more extra about that. And also we have tricycle, we have pedicabs here in the Philippines. You can use tricycle, but in tricycle also they have a license number, because per barangay they have color coding, they have the plate number, and then the TODA, we call it TODA number, like a franchise number. Even the jeepneys, they have the number. So just be aware that use those mark transportation for that. And when it comes to ATMs, what we need to do with ATMs?
Look, head inside the malls or inside a bank, somewhere which is very clearly lit, very well traveled, rather than isolated machines, particularly around skimming devices, and just be careful about handling large cash around these machines. Credit cards are usually available in the larger hotels and department stores, but credit card payments are not widely spread amongst the smaller stores. And so cash is preferable and often required as the only form of payment in the very smaller stores or in the touristy areas.
And
check with your contacts before you travel. So if you're traveling perhaps to a dive resort, ask them, do you take credit card payments? Who does, who doesn't, and so forth.
Yeah, and also don't be surprised when you use your credit card. They will ask for your ID and look at your picture, and the same with your ID, and they will also ask for your signature. So don't be surprised, because in other country like in Dubai, we don't usually, I can even use this card in Dubai without questioning me. I can use any card. We can, but here in the Philippines it's different.
More strict.
More strict, and they will ask for your ID. They will ask for your signature. So don't be surprised about that, and don't be
offended
by that. Yeah.
Also, things like Apple Pay are not widely available.
Yeah.
Again, it goes going back to cash.
Yeah.
But coming back to personal safety, keep your situation awareness around you, or in simple terms, have your radar turned on so you're aware of what's going on around you. Avoid wearing earphones or something that blocks your ear in public, because this reduces your awareness and actually increases your target attractiveness by criminals, because you're creating opportunities to someone to come and surprise you. Do you need to keep everything with you? If you're staying in a hotel and they've got a hotel safe, but maybe your passport or some of your valuables could go in there, but just be aware about what am I carrying and what do I need to. Also, things like if things do go wrong, can I access a copy of my passport or a copy of my ticket or my hotel booking or other essential information from my email, or is it saved on my telephone as a picture? And then lastly, around personal safety, if you're wearing a bag, a handbag, a shoulder bag, a backpack that goes on the front of you, so you have access to it and no one can get access to it without your knowledge. And when I walk around, and I walk around pretty much everywhere, but everything's in my front pockets. So my telephones, my wallet, my keys, everything's in the front pocket, because it's much harder to steal or fall out than rather than my back pockets.
Okay, now we are in our tip number 4, which is the outdoor and adventure safety. Of course, you're probably visiting the beaches and adventures. That's what we're doing here in the Philippines, And if you're going on island hopping or scuba diving, only book with the licensed operators, and always check the weather forecast. I remember you had your scuba diving in Cebu.
In Cebu, so yeah. So look, there's lots of licensed operators. So choose one that's, do your research. Have they got good reviews online? Do they have all of the right understanding? Ask them questions. If you're going to go scuba diving or snorkeling, where am I going? Who's looking after me? What safety gear? Ask some good questions for these operators to give yourself a reassurance that it's all going to work out well.
Yeah.
If you go swimming, pay attention to local warnings. Am I swimming in a river or an ocean?
Yeah.
What are the currents? Am I going to get dragged out? Even in popular spots, just keep an awareness of what's going on. And if you're hiking, register with local guides and never go alone. In many areas, the guides will say, we have to go to this office to get approvals and pay the national park fees or so forth. So just be aware that there are a few processes, and think about the clothing that you're going to need. Do I need a waterproof pouch for your devices? Always great to have, because it is a tropical country. There's lots of rain most of the year round, so very easy for your devices to get wet.
And also, I would like to add, if you're going to, of course, if it is a tourist spot, if it is a famous tourist destination in the Philippines, you will see a lot of people there with ID. They're wearing IDs because they are from the government. They are from we called it barangay. Barangay is like a
local council.
A local council. So yes, so always deal with people wearing ID so that you're not, you're always safe with them. And also another thing is that I remember, because when I was young, we used to swim in the river. So the river here, if you're going to a falls or a river, there's some it's not the underneath. There's deep, there's shallow, so you will never know what's underneath. So be very careful, and also follow when the locals said you cannot swim there or you cannot go there, or this is unpredictable, this area, so don't go. So just follow the locals advice. Okay, let's have the tip number 5, which is the areas and the situations that you probably should need to avoid. And my husband is expert in security.
So do your research. What does your government say about places to avoid? And think about, if I do go to some of these areas down south in Mindanao, has a reputation. Who am I traveling with? What am I doing there? What support do I have? Just think about in your preparation, do I need to go to these particular places? And always think about checking the travel advisories from perhaps your government or a Western government before you head down there. As a foreigner, we stand out. We don't look the same, we don't sound the same, so
you're taller.
People are going to pay attention to us, so we stand out more. So just be aware about we look and sound different, and therefore we will attract more attention. When you're at night, avoid wandering into dark alleys or poorly lit streets, and watch out for scams, whether it's fake tour guides, money exchanges, or strangers offering special deals of any sort. If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. And with your radar turned on, follow the local people's behaviour and trust your gut or your feelings. If everyone's avoiding this dark area, why would you want to go down there and put yourself at risk?
Yeah. And I want to add something about, because we have some friends from other countries who came here, and because we never had a bad experience here in the Philippines, honestly. But they said, I had a fight here because they went to a local bars, which is, about the bars.
Got into trouble with drunk locals, fights arose. So just think about not offending local cultures, not offending local behaviors, and just being a nice person.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, so the last one is our cultural and social tips.
So, look, Filipinos are some of the friendliest people in the world that you'll ever meet. But a little respect goes a long way. So being able to say thank you and
salamat po,
and little words do go a long way. Just understand that it's also a deeply religious country in terms of respect. So just think about, where am I going? What's my dress code need to be today? And just show a general respect to the community. Now, nightlife is fun, can be great, but drink responsibly and don't leave your drink unattended or cover it with your hand, just in case someone wants to drop something in and therefore take advantage of it.
Especially for women.
Especially for women. So also avoid illegal or illicit behaviour, just like you would back in your country. So stay away from drugs, stay away from prostitution or other illegal activities or doubtful activities such as cockfighting, because this is going to put you in a situation where others have the potential to extract money from you, perhaps in a way that you don't want.
Yeah.
And road rage is a bit of a thing over here, so don't argue with locals if you're driving.
Yeah.
And as well as in the bars and the nightclubs, just be aware that weapons are perhaps more prevalent than in your home country, and just be respectful of Filipinos and the culture. If you need to apologize to extract yourself from a difficult situation, do so. The best way to win a fight is to never fight. So
don't fight with me. So don't fight with me.
So just show some respect and have some fun, and look at what everybody else doing. If they're all walking into a religious place and they're all got long pants on and you're in shorts, should I be going in there if I'm in shorts and they're in long pants? If you're not sure, ask, and just have a great time.
Yeah. And also, I just want to emphasize the road rage. When you're driving here, especially in Manila, or it's almost everywhere is traffic, and just control your temper. If ever you will have an accident or you hit someone, because if you're very calm or apologetic or something, if ever.
Yes. Look,
It's all about approach.
it is about approach and about attitude. And look, I drive here in the Philippines, and I've been stopped a few times because I've done something wrong on the road. Most of the time, the police look at me and they're very respectful, and I'm very respectful, and the situation resolved, and off we go. And I would never want to put myself in a situation where I'm doing bad behavior and then I make it worse.
Because especially those local taxi drivers, jeepney drivers, truck drivers, tricycle drivers, no, they have a very long day. They are tired, they are exhausted, so sometimes they cannot control their emotion, and then you will start a fight with them. So it's not worth.
And a smile and a wave goes a long way, because if I end up offending someone, I'm offending not just one person, but I'm offending a lot of people. So I would say go out of your way to be polite and nice, and you'll have a great time.
Okay, so there you have it, the top 6 that safety tips that we can share with you, and these are the basic safety guide for you when you're traveling to the Philippines.
So remember, stay aware, keep your radar turned on, blend in and understand what's going on around you and how's everybody else enjoying themselves. And trust your instincts, and that way you can focus on what really matters, which is enjoying paradise and having fun.
So enjoy our beaches, not beaches, beaches.
Yes.
And thank you for watching. This is again Lorelli and John, my husband. That's why we called our channel John Lord.
Don't forget to like, share and comment on any of our videos, and if you have a special request about the Philippines, put it in the comments and we'll do our best to address your particular question.
So thank you for watching, and of course we would want you to see you again in our next video. Thank you so much.